You know what Charlie Munger said? The billionaire investor who literally sits next to Warren Buffett? He said the first $100,000 is the absolute hardest money you'll ever make. You work hard, you save a little, you check your bank account, and it barely moved. Meanwhile, you hear about people with millions in the bank, and you're thinking, how did they even get there? Did they win the lottery? Inherit it? Well, here's what nobody tells you. Hi, my name is Jack, and if you want to crack the wealth code years ahead of everyone else, hit that like button and subscribe, because what I'm about to show you changes everything. There's a specific mathematical reason why your first 100,000 feels impossible, while your second and third 100,000 practically fall into your lap. And once you understand this reason, you'll never look at money the same way again. The secret is compound interest, but it doesn't care about you until you have real money in the game. When you've got $5,000 invested and it earns 10%, that's $500. You could make that working overtime on a weekend. Wow, life-changing, right? But when you have $100,000 earning that same 10%, that's $10,000. You just made 10 grand while you slept. And at $1 million? $100,000 in returns. Now we're talking about real wealth building. But here's where most people get stuck, and I need you to really hear this. The obstacle isn't just about the math, it's about actually starting. How many people do you know who say they'll invest when they have more money? Probably half the people you know, right? Here's the truth. Saying you'll invest when you have more money is like saying you'll put wood on a fire just as soon as it starts producing heat. You don't invest because you have too much money lying around. You invest because you want more money. The fire needs the wood first. Your portfolio needs contributions first. You've got it backwards, and that's why you're stuck. Then there's the risk excuse. Oh man, this one drives me crazy. You probably know someone, maybe it's even you, who thinks investing is too risky. So what do? They keep everything in a savings account earning basically nothing while inflation eats away at it. The real risk is not investing at all. But let's say you get past the mental blocks. You start investing. You're actually doing it. Now here's where it gets interesting and why those first steps feel difficult. In the beginning, you're doing all the heavy lifting. If you want to save $100,000 and you're earning 8% returns, roughly 80% of that money is coming directly from your paycheck. You're the one sacrificing. You're the one saying no to things. You're grinding, and your portfolio barely budgets. It's exhausting. But here's what changes everything. Once you cross that $100,000 threshold, compound interest becomes your coworker. Except this coworker never sleeps, never takes vacation, and never asks for a raise. And here's where wealthy people have a completely different relationship with money than broke people. Something shifts in your brain when you see your portfolio jump $10,000 in a year without you doing anything. You start thinking differently. That $100 dinner you were about to blow money on? You stop and think, wait, if I invest this $100 instead, it could turn into $11 next year, then $12 the year after that. It keeps rewarding you over and over. But if you eat that dinner, it's gone forever. This is the mindset shift that separates wealth builders from wealth dreamers. Now let's talk about something most financial gurus won't tell you. When you have money, you have options. Real options. And options are power. Think about it. When you have $100,000 saved, you can take risks that someone living paycheck to paycheck simply cannot. Maybe there's a job opportunity that pays way more, but it's commission-based. Scary, right? But if you have money in the bank, you can take that shot. Or maybe you've always wanted to start a business. Now you actually have the capital to do it. Perhaps a real estate deal pops up, a house way below market value. And you can jump on it while everyone else is stuck on the sidelines wishing they could. Having money gives you the freedom to make money. Broke people don't have that luxury. Here's another advantage nobody talks about. When you have substantial savings, you can afford to take bigger risks with your investments. And I'm not talking about gambling your life savings on meme stocks. I'm talking about calculated risks that could multiply your wealth. Let's say you see potential in a specific stock, or a friend presents a business opportunity. If you have money saved up, you can invest without worrying about going broke if it doesn't work out. You still have your foundation, your safety net. But someone with only a few $1,000s saved, they can't afford to take that chance. They're stuck in the slow lane, watching opportunities pass them by. Alright, so you're probably thinking, this all sounds great, but I'm still working toward that first 100,000. What do I actually do to speed this up? Let me break this down for you. There are specific strategies you can implement right now, today, that will shave years off your journey to $100,000. And some of them are going to challenge you. First, you need to increase how much you're saving, period. The majority of your first 100,000 is money you personally contribute, so you've got to crank up those contributions. How? By increasing your income. Get a side hustle, work weekends, start a small business that brings in extra cash, and dump that money directly into investments. Every extra dollar you make and save today is a dollar that starts compounding tomorrow. Second, be ruthless with unnecessary spending. And I mean ruthless. Do you really need to spend $100 on dinner, or can you save that for special occasions and invest the rest? I know it sounds extreme, but here's the thing. This is temporary. Once you hit your goal, you can ease up. But right now you're building your empire brick by brick. And please, for the love of everything, stay away from massive car payments. I see this all the time. People financing $50,000 trucks they don't need, and they wonder why they're not building wealth. That car payment is literally stealing your future. But here's what happens once you get used to this lifestyle of saving and investing. Something almost magical occurs. It becomes automatic. By the time you hit that $100,000 mark, you're so used to finding ways to earn extra money, you're so used to being deliberate with purchases, that it's just who you are now. You've built the habits, you've developed the discipline, and now, instead of fighting against yourself, your behaviors are actually working for you. Plus, you've been through market ups and downs. You've learned to take risks. You understand how compound interest works in the real world, not just in theory. You've become a different person financially. According to Charlie Munger, once you hit that first 100,000, you can let off the gas a little. Not completely, but a little. Because now, finally, compound interest is doing the majority of the work for you. The first million is the next milestone, but guess what? It's way easier than the first 100,000. Why? Because most of your growth from here on out comes from returns on your investments, not from money you personally have to earn and save. Your money is making money, which makes more money, which makes even more money. It's the beautiful cycle of wealth building, and you're finally in it. So next time you're stressed about how slowly your net worth is growing, remember this. It gets easier, it gets more enjoyable, and it gets way more rewarding as time goes on. The first 100,000 is your Everest. But once you summit that peak, the view is incredible, and the path ahead is so much clearer. Now I want to ask you something. What's your current savings goal? And what's one thing you're going to change this week to get there faster? Drop it in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you want to know exactly how to build wealth starting from almost nothing, go watch my previous video on how to make $5,000 a month with only $25 a week. I'll see you in the next one.